Hello everybody and welcome back to Another Day with Tea. Today we have a very special guest with us from sunny Australia, and it's Kaity from Kaity Cichlids.
Hi, that's me.
So I wanted to get her opinion on my fish tanks because I've never actually had a guest to judge my tanks other than Joey.
Yep, so I'm going to judge them really harshly.
Alright, so out here we have the Tropheus Bemba tank.
But I'm not going too close to it because these guys are quite shy.
Yes, they are shy.
So on my channel, if you've seen it, I keep a lot of African cichlids.
I'll link it as well in the description.
And so I love them. I've got some Tropheus myself, so I was really excited when I saw that Tamara had set this tank up. I think it's really cool. The only thing is these guys are quite shy because they're still got a little bit of growing to do. And one thing with Tropheus, they do like to come out and like eat algae and stuff. But when they have a lot of places to hide and they really love it because they love being able to hide, but they'll tend to take advantage of that as well, especially when they're smaller and really get in all of the crevices and stuff. So literally, if you watch this, if I walk any closer, they're all just going to disappear into the rocks.
Yeah, they just dart away.
Yeah, which is amazing because you were saying there's like 28 or something in here?
28, yeah. I think we started with like 30. But when we moved them, we counted them, and I'm pretty sure the final count was 28.
Yeah, it's the heaps. And I really like the substrate that you went with. Mm-hmm. Did you specifically choose that substrate?
No, this substrate was actually in here when the electric eel was in here, that Joey had. He was in here for a little while, and then Joey was like, you know what, we need to bring him back out to the gallery because he's such a fun electric eel and so interactive that he ended up going out there. But that freed up this tank for these guys, so.
Yeah, so worth it.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Then we've got the beautiful Frontosa, which I love as well. And these guys are a little bit more open water swimmers, so they like coming out and about. But they're gorgeous. I remember last year when I was here, we saw them in a video, the gallery tour that I did. They were in Joey's gallery.
Yes.
So these guys are in here, and the big male.
Do you feel like any of them have grown more, or have they been about the same since last year?
It's kind of hard for me to remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, that guy maybe looks a bit bigger.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah, like he's really standing out. Mm-hmm. And I really like the Black Widow ones, I think they're called too, like with the spots. They're quite interesting.
Which do you prefer, the traditional look or the Black Widow?
I actually prefer the Black Widow look.
Okay.
Yeah. I think most people like the traditional one more, especially if they're like a big Tanganykan fan, I guess, because they're natural, the traditional ones. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Black Widows are like selectively bred ones, they're not naturally occurring in the environment, but I just think they look a little bit more interesting. I've always said this, that Frontosa remind me of convict cichlids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you very familiar with convict cichlids?
Yeah, I can see the similarity, like in the pattern.
Yeah, and convict cichlids they're a bit smaller, but they breed like crazy. So they're kind of like a very cheap little fish that we see a lot. Not that being cheap is like a bad thing. Like, you can still get some nice cheap fish.
All right, so this is the Cove, even though it's a little bit deconstructed at this time. Let's start with the goldfish tank. With the two fancy goldfish. Are you a goldfish person? Are you into goldfish?
I love goldfish. I don't keep any goldfish.
No.
But I absolutely love them. There's a page called Fancy Goldfish Fanatics on Instagram. I really wanted to visit his goldfish tank when I go to the UK, but unfortunately he shut it down. But he had like big, huge, fancy goldfish.
Oh, wow.
Like as big as koi.
Wow.
And that would be cool to have in Australia too. In Australia, in some states, so where I'm from in Queensland, we can't actually keep koi fish.
Oh, no?
Yeah, so we can really keep goldfish. So if you want to have a pond, you just have to get big goldfish. Other states, I think New South Wales, you can keep koi, but not Queensland, unfortunately. So
do you know what the reason why is?
I believe it's because they can be invasive, so if they get into the waterways, they can outcompete a lot of other species of fish and be a little bit destructive. Yeah, because they are a type of carp, I think koi are, and carp, they get so big and they tend to eat other fish and eat everything and breed a lot.
Oh my gosh. Well, I learned something new today.
Yeah, but I'm pretty into goldfish. I just haven't kept any. I just don't have space at the moment, but once I get a bigger place and I've got more space, I'm sure that I'm going to end up having a goldfish pond or more goldfish. But these guys are very cute, and one of them is called Cupcake, right?
Yes.
And then what's the other one called again?
Muffin
and Cupcake. And Cupcake had the more orange on his, what do you call it?
I just call it his head, or like I call it his hat.
There's like a name for it. It's like a, what is it? Like a woe or something? I don't know. It's like a weird, like 3-letter name, I think. for the little thing on their head. But I'm pretty sure, like, I've seen on Luke's Goldies, you can, like, cut their little thing on their head if you need to. Like, if it, apparently it doesn't bother them. They don't really feel it. So that's pretty cool. And then
this angel tank is sort of just a holding tank at this time.
Yeah.
For the plants as well as the angels.
Yeah, it's so nice. And then you were saying for this one, with some of their fins, I think they kind of like grew like a little bit like wonky.
Yeah, they did.
So you guys
One of them is really bad. I don't know where he is right now. There he is.
Joey was saying he was going to cut the top off, like, potentially. They can just see if maybe it'll grow back straighter. Because you guys were saying you're not sure if it's because it just grew that way or whether it's genetic and it might just end up having a fin that way. Did you say they look speedy? Was it you that said that?
I think Joey said it.
Yeah, they just look like they're really fast.
They're just really fast.
Yeah, they're just going so fast that their fins are bent over. And I thought this was really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I love this Java fern with the red. But apparently that's just because it's dying.
It's dying.
But then these are some of my favourite tanks over here. Yeah, these guys are so cool. These ropefish, we actually don't have them in Australia. I've only ever seen them here. But they're really cool because they kind of look like snakes. So should I put my hand in it and get them to come out? Okay. So Tamara was saying that these guys are really big jumpers, so they are really good at escaping, even if it's a tiny little crevice. The only thing is, can you still see that with the light?
Yeah, I'm gonna
over there.
Stick the light
stick it over. Okay. So watch this. These guys remind me of ribbons. The way that they move around, like, it is really cool. They're falling out each end. Come on! Wow, it's so cool. Look at them go. How beautiful are they? I thought they were biches at first, which apparently they are related to biches.
Yeah, they're in the family.
I think they're beautiful. So unique. They have the cutest little faces. And they really do look like snakes. They're the closest, like, they're the most snake-looking fish I've ever seen. They're very cool.
Are you into snakes? Would you ever get a snake?
I am not really into snakes. I like reptiles and I like looking at snakes, but as far as keeping them goes, probably not. Just because I am a little bit afraid of getting bitten, and I don't think it's ever good keeping a pet if you're afraid of it biting you, because then it makes it hard to look after it. Oh, is there meant to be a sponge on here?
Yeah, just over that hole, because they will
I see
get out of it.
Yeah, we've got to make sure that we properly cover this up. And do you want me to hold the camera?
Yeah, I'll just stick it in there.
We'll make sure that they cannot escape.
Because they will get through any little spot they can.
Yes.
And then I also have the light, like, holding it. Whoops.
In nighttime.
Holding it down.
Yes. Perfect.
So moving on to the electric blue acara, coolie loach, pleco tank. And apparently we only have 1, 2 acara right now, because they get in behind the background because it's not quite siliconed in place. So they scoot in and then they come out. But if you look from where I am, you can, like, see the reflection of them in the back.
Really? That's interesting. I wonder if they might end up breeding in the background.
In the back. Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope they don't get too big to, like, fit back out once they go in sometime, or I'm going to have to just take the background out.
So these guys, I think they might be the first fish I ever had that actually bred. Or actually, my African cichlids did, but a little while ago my friend Adrian gave some to me because he loves blue acaras, and he gave me a male and a female, and I had them in my river tank. This was like 1.5 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, and they actually had some babies.
Oh, wow.
None of them grew up.
No.
But yeah, it was cool seeing. Yeah,
it's always really cool to see the breeding, like, cycle and, like, the different behaviors if they do end up, like, making it. But just seeing that they bred is always interesting.
I can see a little albino pleco in there as well.
Where is he? There he is. He pretty much stays there full time.
Yeah, he just loves it there. And what I really love too, they're under the log right now, but Tamara's got some coolie loaches in there, but they're really nice, like, fat, chunky guys.
Yep. They like to come out at night. And I'm going to turn this light off and see if they'll actually come out when we're still in here. Okay. Sometimes they'll come out over here with the lights off.
You can see this little guy looking at me, or girl.
Yeah, this is Linda.
Linda
the crab.
She's so cute. That's something that we don't really see much in Australia is crab tanks. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone have a crab tank.
No.
In Australia, no.
When Joey had the opportunity to get the crabs for me, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I need them.
There's been one type that I've seen, like a very small type of freshwater crab, but not like ones like this where they're beautiful and colourful. And this is did you say it's a pirate crab?
Yes, it's a freshwater pirate crab.
And I love that you went with the pirate theme with the pirate crab and you've got the anchor and everything in
little
there.
Anchor.
That's so cool. It's a sweet little tank. And are you going to get any other crabs as well to have with Linda?
She had 2 crab mates, but they unfortunately, after we upgraded their tank, like very soon after, we thought we were giving them a nice upgrade, and they just did not.
They didn't like it.
Did not like it, I guess, because they did not make it.
Oh no. Well, but maybe, who knows, maybe they were fighting over Linda and they fought to the death or something.
Yeah, because sometimes some of them, like when they were in the 15-gallon, they would be like pinching their legs and like trying to like cut their legs off almost, it seemed like.
Oh my gosh. Or maybe Linda murdered them.
Maybe she is a... Let us know what you think happened.
Yeah, maybe we need to set up like a crab cam or something.
I thought about it because I was like,
susser.
I need to see what behaviors they have while I'm not in here.
And then I really, really love this tank. I think this is super cool. So this is Tamara's shrimp tank with the beautiful tree of life in here.
Now that it's actually a tree of life.
And it's actually doing so well. Like, that is actually some of the nicest Java fern I've ever seen. Like, growing on a tree like that, like, it has worked out really beautifully.
I think that the shrimp definitely helped, like, take such good care of it because I suffered with hair algae in every other tank other than the shrimp tank.
Yeah.
Like, so even when the other 15s were set up.
That's really cool. So then you can have the nice bright light and then the shrimp is just eating away at all of the algae that doesn't look good, and then you're just left with the beautiful moss. So nice. And these are they red cherry shrimp in here?
Yes.
And then it looks like you've got a bunch of really cool snails too.
Yeah, there's a lot of snails in there as well.
Nice. Do you think that you'll keep any other types of shrimp? Because there's so
I
many
would
different
love
colours.
to get more shrimp. Eventually.
Well, maybe, who knows? So at the moment, you guys are missing some tanks from along here, right?
Yes.
Because you had the issues with the hot water tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't drain because it was all rusted, so we're trying to like let it drip out over time.
And so because you had to take some here, I think we need some ideas for what to put underneath this.
Underneath the Queen's Cove.
Should we turn this on?
Yeah, I'm going to turn it on.
Turn it on. Woohoo. Queen's Cove.
Queen's Cove.
And so, what do you guys think? Maybe you guys can leave some comments on some ideas for tanks underneath here. So maybe like a different, like a shrimp rack or something, like little nano tanks, different like coloured shrimp.
Imagine if I did all shrimp. That would actually be really cool too.
That would be really cool. Because apparently I had this idea way back where I was like, I want to get like every type of shrimp, like all the different colours, and put them in one tank together. But then apparently what happens is they then just crossbreed all together, and then they end up having like brown shrimp.
Like brown?
Yeah, it doesn't end up looking cool. So
there's just too many colours.
Still got my sleeve up from the rope fish. But yeah, drop in the comments below what you think would be cool for along here.
That's actually such a good idea though.
Yeah, because I think we need something under here.
Because I really just do enjoy the shrimp tank so much. Like, it's honestly one of my favorites. That I would love to have this all been shrimp tanks.
I like it.
See?
Good idea.
Katie came.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, because I knew that you liked the bedders as well, and that kind of reminds me of that, because with the bedders, I'm guessing that you liked that you could get all the different types, like the different colours and stuff, and like have them in nano tanks. It's kind of interesting. Keeps it different, changes it up a bit.
Yeah.
Definitely can do that with shrimp too.
Yes.
And there's some really expensive shrimp you can get. You can get ones that are like $200 each.
For just the little one shrimp?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Who knows? Maybe you could experiment with some really expensive shrimps.
That would be cool.
See what Joey thinks.
Everybody in the comments, let me know what you think of that idea as well, or give a suggestion.
Yes, I think it's a great idea.
All right, so overall, what are your top 3 tanks out of my tanks?
Okay, top 3 tanks. So definitely the shrimp tank, just because I love the Java fern. I think that is beautiful. Java fern, Java moss in here. That's gorgeous. Then the other one that I love would have to be Linda in the crab tank as well.
Miss Linda.
Miss Linda, as long as she didn't murder the other crabs. But I think she's beautiful, and I just think it's really unique. And I like shallow tanks too. Like, I know the tank itself isn't shallow, but the shallow water level,
Yes.
I think that makes it really interesting. Kind of reminds me of like a rock pool.
Yes.
And then I would say, I mean, I do love the goldfish, but I have to say the ropefish. The light's off at the moment.
Yes.
Should I turn
The
it on?
coolie loaches did come out. Do you
they
see
did?
that? In the side?
Oh yeah, I see them. I don't know if you guys can see them there on the bottom there in the dark. But then, oops.
Oh, there they went.
Oh gosh, I scared the acaras. But I would have to say that little ropefish friend is actually out still. That the ropefish would have to be my other favourite one, just because they're so unique, and it's something that, being from Australia, we don't have them, so I haven't seen them until here. And I just think they're really cool, and I love biches too, so they kind of remind me of biches. So I don't know. I would say that would have to be my top 3.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on a little tank tour of the Queen's Cove.
Thanks
being
for showing
first
me
visitor.
around. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm actually the first.
My first visitor.
I'm actually the first visitor.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Well, thanks for showing me around.
Absolutely.
So if you guys want to see more of Queen's Cove as well, then check out my channel too. I'm going to be doing a video tour through all of these tanks as well.
Yes, and she's gonna give some secret stories of little learning lessons that we've learned in the Queen's Cove.
There's going to be some top secret stuff in that video.
So you'll have to check it out. I will link that in the description as well. And make sure that if you enjoyed this video, you give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and make sure you subscribe to Kaity's channel. And we'll see you in the next one on Another Day with Tea. Bye, guys.
Bye.